Welcome, beloved, to our confession. And this time we're looking to a very important topic. This is the topic of identity. In other words, who do you think you are? And this is an extremely important question because what do you think who you are? This is the way how you will live your life. If you think that you're a very significant and important person, will be the first message that you will communicate in every your conversation. Probably you will not speak it out, but you will act it out. The way how you will speak, the way how your body language will move according to what do you think who you are. If you think that there's nothing special about you and maybe you're still struggling with self-worth, this will be the first message you will communicate in your first conversation. But if you think that there is nothing special about you and you're still struggling with self-worth, this will be the first thing what you will communicate in the conversation outside. You will not speak it out, but you will act it out. The second reason why identity is so important, because it's impossible to live out your life vision if you don't know who you are. This is what we see in the example of Jesus. In the beginning of chapter 13 of Gospel John, we see when Jesus, knowing that this is the time to go to Father, knowing from where He is coming, knowing where He is going, and knowing that He wants to show the love to His disciples till the end. The reason why Jesus stands up and starts to wash the feet of the disciples, because it reflects His life, vision, and mission. He came here not only to wash the feet of the disciples, He came to wash the hearts of the disciples and all people. So the only way how you can fulfill your life, vision, and mission is by knowing who you are. That's why to know your identity is extremely important. Jesus knew His identity. Do you know your identity? And as we look to this topic, we will see that there is a huge challenge and struggle regarding identity. And the first problem of identity comes from outside. Because when even you started your life, from small age when you were a child, people around you already had the ideas what you're supposed to be and what to do. So probably these identities came from your parents, relatives, your teachers, because they thought that they know who you're supposed to be. When you grew up, probably your colleagues, your spouse, will as well pressurize what you're supposed to do, who you're supposed to be. And there's a huge struggle with that. And we see the same in the life of Jesus. As He was living His life on earth, many people had different ideas who He is. Even the crowd that followed Jesus had his own idea who Jesus was. They thought maybe Jesus is just one from the prophets. Or maybe he's a John Baptist who was killed and just rise from the dead. There's so many people and so many ideas who Jesus was. But Jesus knew who He was, and He didn't need approval from other people for that. And He was not moved by the opinions of other people. What do they think that He was? But so many times we are so much shaken and moved by the opinions of other people because we're so desperate to get their approval, affirmation to our identity. And when we look even deeper to the identity, we see that there is a deeper problem. Because one problem comes from expectations from people around you, but there is a deeper problem that comes from inside, inner of you. If you look to your heart, you will see that your biggest desire is to be as you are, but in the same way to be accepted and loved as you are. And so many times when you act as you are, really, you are rejected or put down by people around you. And what you try to do, just to hide up, maybe to create some kind of identity that would be appreciated and accepted by other people. This is the second way how we're trying to solve this inner problem of identity. we create an identity. We create some kind of mask that would be appreciated, acceptable to the environment where we are. And this works for a while because other people are happy with us. It looks that they accept us and enjoys our company. But deep inside your heart, you know that it is fake, it's not real. The person that is accepted and loved is not you, it's a created person, created mask, created identity. So what should I do? How should I solve this problem of identity that comes inside me, but as well with that huge pressure that I feel from outside, people around me? The answer we will find when we look to the life of Jesus. The good news is when Jesus invites his disciples to follow him, the first thing what he does, he tackles the issue of identity. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 1, verse 17, Jesus says, "Follow me, and I will make you the fishermen of men." So the disciples were just ordinary people who lived their ordinary life. But when Jesus comes in their life, he says, "I don't see you as ordinary people. There's something extraordinary about you. And I am the one who will make you into that kind of extraordinary person. And transformation that will be inside you not only affect you, it will affect people around you." And this invitation is not only for the disciples who lived 2,000 years ago. This is the invitation for us today to follow Jesus. And he is ready to change our identity, to give us a new identity. And I'm sure that identity that Jesus is giving to you is so much beyond what you ever thought about yourself. Some of you, you're already following Jesus for years, and you're thinking, why this change of my identity is so slow? I would like a deeper and quicker changes. The answer is because it is a process. It is not one day solution. It is a process of following and knowing Jesus. And the more you follow Jesus, the more you know him daily, the more he transforms you, transforms who you are, transforms how do you see yourself. And this is exactly what we see in the life of the disciples. Almost after 3 years of following Jesus, Jesus asked his disciples, "What do you think I am?" And Jesus answers, "You are the Son of God." And Jesus says, "Because you said so, you will not be any longer the Simon, you will be the Peter." And this is very important. The name of person reflects his identity. The meaning of Simon is weak, like a grass, shakeable, movable. But the meaning of rock, it's a strong, unshakable. Look, Jesus takes the struggle of Peter's life, maybe the part of the character that Peter was struggling most and was trying to hide. Jesus takes that and transforms that in the strongest part of his personality. And he says, the thing that you are afraid we're trying to hide, I will use that for my kingdom. I will use it to build the church, and I will build the church on this rock, and the gates of hell will not prevail. And this is true not only about the Peter, this is true about ourselves as well. Because Jesus is ready to take the aspects of our character that we struggle most, the things of our personality that we hide from other people, and he's ready to change that. Are you ready to be open and vulnerable to Jesus and to bring these things and issues to him? Because he is ready to transform it into something glorious, what he will use for the building of his kingdom. And this is the way how Jesus is ready to solve this inner problem of identity. And the more you spend time with Jesus, you will realize that it's not so important what other people think who you are. It might be still painful to get rejection of who you are, but it will never break you down. Because if the most important person in the whole universe thinks that you are great, if a king of kings loves and accepts you, it doesn't really matter if you experience some way of rejection or somebody's trying to put you down. And this is the way how Jesus solves this problem of identity that comes from outside, from the pressure from other people around you. Are you ready for this journey with Jesus? The journey that will change who you are and will not leave you as you are. I'm inviting you to start that journey. It's very, very exciting journey. And as we finish our confession, I would like to invite you for a short prayer and confession. I accept you, Jesus, as my Lord and Savior. And I accept this new identity that you give to me. I am a new creature in Jesus Christ. I am created for the works that Father prepared before me. I'm so much loved and accepted in Jesus Christ. The love of Father is poured out into my heart. I'm a son and daughter of the Most High God. I'm a light and the salt of His world. I'm gloriously and amazingly created in Him. In Jesus' mighty name, I proclaim and pray. Amen. Be blessed.